Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we're still working on our Annihilator here. That's got a ways to go yet, and of course, we spent a lot of money on that, so we need to work on replenishing our funds. We're good to go as far as mechs and mech warriors go, so let's just hop into the command center and see what we've got. What's in here? This is interesting. Immediately to me, it's a 6.5 skull mission, the most challenging mission available currently here. It's not the most max pay. It's 315 salvage. Technically, this is a better one to do. It's a capture base mission. It's a little bit less difficult by like a full skull, but it is better max pay. So since we are looking, actually technically even this one's better. This is the best one we've got available pay-wise. Now, this is 2 of 11 max salvage. Let's check to see. I believe, yeah, this is a free priority salvage here. So this is probably going to be better for us. Let's double check with this mission here. I want to negotiate that. And yeah, no free priority salvage until you get up here. So we are going to be actually quite a bit better off going for Operation Daft Mouse here. This is the best one available cash-wise, and it's a free priority salvage. We're not really interested in huge amounts of challenge right now because we're trying to rebuild our funds, so I guess this is okay. We're just trying to rebuild our funds and buy time to get our Annihilator online. So let's go ahead and take this mission. I don't expect this to be tremendously challenging. But you never know with RogueTech. It could be literally anything. So we'll just make sure that that's all good to go. It looks like it is, so let's go ahead and do this. Yes, the Awesome and the Mauler are underweight. I'm aware of that. Yes, Darius is an idiot. That is very, very much a true statement. So let's go ahead and do this battle in the Highlands. I'm expecting it to be at least 2 enemy lances, even with it being 4 skull difficulty. We'll see how much less difficult it really is. We may breeze through it super quick. It's hard to say. If we breeze through it quick enough, we may even get 2 missions in an episode. We've done that before. It's very unusual for RogueTech. Very unusual indeed. But we'll see what is available here. And then maybe just run like a super quick and easy one after. We'd have to like guarantee that it was going to be a quick mission, but that could be doable. We'll see how quickly we get through this one. It's hard to say. However, the loading screen is already almost loaded, so that is a fantastic sign. There we go. So we need to destroy the enemy forces. Within the last 3 months, the Draconis Combine has struck our facilities, personnel, and supply convoys over half a dozen times. My superiors and the Commonwealth leadership would like to even the score. We'd like to hire you to find a Cretan lance and destroy it, to demonstrate we're not without military resources on Carver. Well, I mean, hiring a mercenary force kind of demonstrates that you're without military resources, so there's that. If they want to show military strength here in Carver, we can do that for them.
Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal.
At some point after we've rebuilt our funds, we should probably think about moving to a location that is still more challenging, because we're kind of running out of challenge here. So that is good. We're going to, yeah, we're sure that there's reinforcements. We have allies as well, so there's definitely going to be reinforcements. And in fact, it looks like we're going to get ambushed. We're going to park right here in these trees. And let's see what we find. We've got an LOS blocker here and here. Okay. Our Steiner friends move up a little bit. We didn't drop directly into combat, which I'm surprised by. I expected a force like right here. Like right here. Ah, there's somebody. A Kodiak. Cool. So.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contact info.
Okay, a fast cam carrier. So these are the reinforcements here. They appear to be in a column. Cool. A mortar carrier, a... what is this? Fast cam and LRM. and a Kodiak. This is not tremendously threatening. We'll see what our allies get done here. Probably not very much, in all honesty. Yeah, this is not getting very much done. Okay. So, next up... Well, they still have a mover out there. That's the fast cam carrier. They're firing on the Maxim. That's good for us. They drop their mines over here rather than directly on us, which would be problematic. As it is, this is okay. It's not ideal, but it's fine-ish. The Magcat Mark II is going to move up over this way. Do we want to get a little closer? I don't feel like that's worth the sprint. We're going to be in the same range band no matter what. So we're going to Warlord this, and we're going to hit this Kodiak pretty hard on the side arc here. He is guarded, so he does get that minus 20% to damage taken. But that was a pretty good armor strip there. He doesn't move until phase 10. So that's fine. They're continuing to hit the Maxim here with some AoE splash damage. They'd be better off firing at our cluster of mechs here. But they're not doing that. So our Orion is going to... Actually, it's stuck here. I was afraid of that because of its location right here on this cliff. I was afraid that it was going to be stuck there, but... Luckily, RogueTech has added in careful maneuvers, so we can careful maneuver over to here,
On my way.
which gives us a clear, uninterrupted LOS on this Kodiak. Now, we can't also Warlord this round, so we can't boost our hit odds there, but we can still fire on this Kodiak and do a pretty decent chunk of damage to it. Yeah, that's a structure exposure on that Kodiak already.
Solid connection on that one.
Indeed. Phase 15, they have a mover. We don't know who. It's the LRM carrier. Okay. It also fires on that Maxim. Again, if it had dropped that in the center of our formation, that could have been problematic for us. But no.
Awaiting orders.
As it is, this is fine. The Awesome is going to move up over here. We have uninterrupted LOS on the Kodiak, and that's perfect. This is likely a kill on the Kodiak, especially if we Warlord this. We did get a little bit of landmines exploding there, but that's not surprising. Okay, no kill on the Kodiak, but large amounts of damage to
Taking a
it.
critical hit.
They do have a mover that we don't see out there. That'll be somebody up over here, most likely.
What do you need?
Our Corsair is going to pop out over this direction. I'd like to see... These are not great, but we'll sprint up over here anyway. And we're going to fire on that Kodiak again. I do think that we're going to have this Kodiak removed very, very shortly here. This could easily kill him, especially if he's running... He's not running an XL engine. But since he's not running an XL engine, unless we get ammo explosions, and this is probably not going to kill him.
Aye, aye. Engaging target.
But that's still a lot of weapon systems gone, so that's great.
How'd that taste?
Standing by.
The Mauler is now going to come up here, and the Mauler could easily
I getcha.
destroy
On the
this
move.
Kodiak. I think it's probably gone from here.
Fire.
Our Gauss kind of spread out a bit there, but that wasn't too bad. We took out the leg, so that's a knockdown on the Kodiak. Cool. We'll see what our ally does here. That Kodiak is very vulnerable. Hunter moves up, fires on the LRM carrier. Okay. Well, it does some AoE damage, actually, and crits the Kodiak there. Actually, it did kill the Kodiak with the splash damage. I like it. So a Banshee moves up over here, and now that LRM carrier is looking a bit vulnerable, but I want to look... Yeah, this is where we want to fire our artillery on the Banshee here, because they're clustered up. We don't know where the other two units out here are, but that Banshee has got to go.
Locking on.
Nice hit there. I like it. Very solid armor shred there. And this is going to be phase 12, possibly the mortar carrier. This could be rough. Going for the Maxim again. Cool. So they're really focusing in on that Maxim. I love it. The Salamander is going to sprint up over here. We do get an LOS. We're probably going to take some mine damage. We did not, surprisingly. And the LRM carrier here is like super duper dead. I think we don't fire the ATMs, just the MRMs. We don't need much into that torso there. And I'm not warlording for clustering purposes. I don't want to necessarily cluster. There we go. So there's half of the reinforcements gone.
Target down.
Perfect. Next up, the Maxim moves up through the minefield, fires on the fast cam carrier, and doesn't do much. Okay.
Hey.
Now, the Boar's Head moves. This will probably take some mine damage.
Position.
No, it didn't. Do we want to fire on the Banshee and Centurion, or do we want to fire on the fast cam carrier and mortar carrier? Right now, I think that these two are the bigger threat to us. So we'll go ahead and fire on this. We'll Warlord this.
Enough.
And get some good armor damage there. Sadly, our Arrow 4 did very little, but the Sniper Artillery did a good amount. So that'll be fine. Next up is going to be somebody moving in phase 17. It's somebody up over there. Okay. We just got a very brief glimpse and didn't really see what it was. The Magcat Mark II is going to sprint over this way and sink his heat. Cool. They have another phase 17 mover. Somebody up here again? Centurion. Okay. Firing on that Maxim. Getting a good amount of splash damage, but it's only doing 1 per tick. That's not a huge deal. We'll call that okay.
Standing by.
The Orion is going to make its way up as well.
Got it,
We're a
Commander.
ways away here, but we can now see that there's a Vulture Mark IV out there. LBX-AC5 and ERPPC, this is pretty close range, so we're probably going to want to eliminate that from long range, but I do want to check hit odds here. 20%, so the Mortar Carrier, the Centurion. The Banshee is actually the easiest target to hit here. Okay. A little surprising about that one, but sure. And we can Warlord because we had to do careful maneuvers last time. So we'll just go ahead and fire on the Banshee here with 30% hit odds and get some armor strip off of there. Cool. Okay, they have another phase 17 mover. And whatever it is, we didn't see it. Okay. Phase 16 should be the fast cam. It moves up. Goes for the Maxim. Dropping additional mines. Very rude. So we want to eliminate that as soon as we can. We can't really get the course. Oh, we can get an LOS here. It is blocked.
Roger.
Is that LOS blocked by the Magcat? No, we're shooting over the Magcat. It's blocked by terrain. We're going to take this. We may hit the Magcat, but I hope we don't. Okay. That's a lot of armor removed from that fast cam.
My heat sinks can't
And our
take much
ally,
more.
I'm hoping, will finish the job. We'll see if it happens. The Griffin moves up, goes through the mortar carrier. It's okay. They remove some armor from it, I suppose.
Waiting for
Our Mauler is going to move in here.
Moving out.
I really feel like the heavy Gauss are a little bit on the overkill side. So we're going to fire something like this. I don't necessarily expect this to kill,
Locked on.
but we do. Fantastic. We'll take it.
One left target.
Okay, so no more mines. We're going to have to get out of the minefield, of course, but that shouldn't be too bad. The Crusader moves up, fires on the mortar carrier, gets a little bit of armor damage in there. Sounds good to me. And phase 14 is that Banshee. It's kind of stacked in with the Centurion. The Vulture's a little ways away.
Yes, Commander.
The Awesome is going to move up, and we are going to continue to take fast cam mine damage here.
Confirmed.
So there we go. The Awesome taking a little bit of leg damage, and we're just going to lob some LRM-20s at the mortar carrier, I think. Actually, 16%. 24% on the Banshee. The Banshee is still the easier target. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and do this.
Target confirmed.
Get a little bit of armor pulled off of that Banshee. Excellent. Mortar carrier moves up and fires on the Maxim 4 again. Doing a little bit of damage over here to our Atlas, and adding a little heat to it, which is rude, to be sure.
I'm here.
The Bull Shark is going to sprint up.
Acknowledged.
We'll position here. And we're going to drop our artillery right now on the Centurion,
Locking target.
as the most centrally located. Excellent. Softening up that lance back there. And let's see what our ally does. The Hunter moves forward, fires also on the Centurion, and gets some splash damage. We'll take it. Some more armor reduction. The Salamander is going to sprint up over this way. Right now, this LOS blocker is kind of hindering us. We need to get around it. The Maxim moves up and dives to mines because it's an idiot. Okay. Sure. The Boar's Head is going to move up as well, and we're going to continue to drop on this Centurion because it's the most centrally located of them. Now, heat is a problem. We're not going to fire the Clan LRM-20, and we're also not going to fire the sniper artillery here. And that's because of the heat addition from the carrier over there. But we did penetrate the armor on that Centurion, so that is fine. The Madcap Mark II is going to sprint over this direction. We don't get an LOS just yet, but we're getting close.
Good to go.
The Mauler is going to do the same sort of thing, sprint up, sink heat. Okay. The Orion is going to be going around this direction. And the question is, what do we go for? Oh, we now see the Panther over there. Okay, cool. I think we're going to go for the mortar carrier here, and listen kill is the way to go. Not a lot of armor damage here, but we continue to strip armor off of that mortar carrier.
I'm out of LRM.
Well, that kind of LRM. You're not out of LRMs in general. The Corsair is going to sprint forward and drop its heat on down.
Running.
Excellent.
Aye, aye.
The Awesome is going to sprint on up. We don't get an LOS over here just yet. Next round it would on the mortar carrier, if the mortar carrier survives this round. We'll see. I mean, we're not going to do much with a 17% hit chance, but that's okay. Just want to strip a little armor off of that. The Griffin moves up and fires on the Centurion. Gets an internal shot there. Okay, cool.
I'm ready.
And the Bull Shark is going to move up. I was hoping these guys would be a little clustered closer together by the time we got to the Bull Shark moving, but we'll just drop it on the Centurion as the most centrally located here. That's an interesting spot to drop, but okay. A lot of damage going out there, actually.
Take that.
That hitting right here was kind of perfect. It hit all three of these mechs. I like it.
What are your orders?
The Salamander is going to sprint on up over here. Once again, next round would give it access to the mortar carrier. I don't want to fire the ATMs indirect. We're very limited on ATM ammo, so we'll hold off on that. The Panther actually closes in over here and stacks together with them. The Panther is currently the most centrally located mech over here. Fascinating.
Standing by.
The Boar's Head moves instantly. It's going to step forward, and it's going to fire on that Panther. And looking at heat here, we're going to have to not fire the LRM-20, but we can fire the 2 artillery pieces. Do it.
Here we go.
Not a great sniper artillery shot. Not a great arrow 4 shot either. Those were 2 very bad shots, actually. Centurion moves, and now the Banshee is the most centrally located. Okay. Our friend the Crusader moves up, fires on the mortar carrier, gets a few hits in there, strips off a little armor. We'll take that. The mortar carrier is going to move very shortly, if not now. Yes, right now. It moves through the fire and shoots at the Hunter, which is positioned right in the middle of our mechs. That's very unhelpful.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
We didn't take much damage. It's pretty much all heat. And most of these mechs aren't really hurt by that, but the Atlas will be. Additional damage into the mortar carrier there, but it's really not very much. And at this point, we're going to see the Vulture and the Banshee move. The Banshee moves over next to the Centurion. I'd love it if the Vulture moved here. But it didn't. So at this point, the Panther is still kind of the most centrally located. Okay. The Madcap Mark II is going to move up over here.
On my way.
And we're going to fire on that mortar carrier. This is likely a kill, except for the heat concerns, of which there are many. We're going to have to fire something like this. But we need to eliminate that heat.
Yep.
Okay. We didn't take it out, but that's okay. The Corsair is going to sprint up over here, and it does get LOS as well. Cool. Once again, major heat concerns. We're going to just fire like this.
Attacking from position.
Excellent. No more heat issues over there. So that is great. I'm definitely tired of taking those heat mortars. No doubt about that. The Orion is going to sprint up over this direction. It's on Deadfire ammo right now. It's going to have to switch over to standard ammo. And we'll fire on the Centurion. We have a decent chance of killing it, actually.
Target acquired.
But we barely hit. That's okay.
Aye, aye.
The Mauler is going to sprint forward, and it will sink its
On my way.
heat.
Double time.
There we go. Move out of the fire.
Orders?
The Bull Shark is going to look to not be in the fire.
Confirmed.
And I would love to fire on this Panther here. Yeah, we are going to fire the Long Tom, but that'll be fine. We shouldn't have too many heat
Target
issues there.
confirmed.
That's a solid shot there.
Heat is
I like
cooking my internal structure.
Now, you're okay for now. So that Panther is going to go away, and and basically everybody's taking damage over there. The Awesome is going to sprint up. We're concerned about heat for the moment, and so we're just going to be done there. Okay. So who are they going to move? The Panther. It stacks over by the Vulture. Fascinating. So now we have to make a choice. Which stack do we want to go for? The Salamander is going to move up, and it is going to sink its heat. We don't want to deal with that fire if we can at all help it. The Griffin moves up, and it's going to shoot at the Centurion there. Getting a little bit of armor damage, but nothing too major. The Centurion moves slightly over towards this stack. And I'm going to reserve the Boar's Head. I want to see what that Banshee does. That actually kills the Centurion. So that definitely has an effect on the target selection landscape. Let's see what the Vulture does. It moves to be more centrally located, and then the Banshee is kind of stacked near the Vulture. Okay, so the Vulture is our artillery target here. Cool. A little bit of armor damage from our allies there.
Yes, Commander.
The Boar's Head is going to try to stay out of the fire,
On my way.
and we're going to shoot at the Vulture Mark IV. Now, this is a slight overheat, but I'm okay with it.
Affirmative.
A solid hit from the Sniper Artillery, and a decent hit as well from the Arrow 4.
They keep affecting my performance.
Cool.
Commander?
So the Madcap Mark II is going to sprint like into the fire here. It's not ideal under any circumstances, but we'll call that good. Crusader moves up, fires at the Panther. Gets some internal damage there. Not bad. Okay.
Standing by.
The Mauler is completely content to sprint up.
Confirmed.
The Orion is as well. We're going to sprint up over here, and we're just going to fire on whatever we have the highest hit odds on here. 30% on the Banshee. And that will be our target then. We'll go ahead and Warlord it. And let's go.
May I interest you in the gentleman's armor?
So that Banshee is down below like half armor. Nice. Or very close to it. The Griffin moves up and also shoots at the Banshee. Doesn't get as many hits, that's for sure.
Yep.
Our Salamander is going to continue to sprint forward. It requires an LOS to really be effective.
10-4.
And it'll sink its heat. There we go. Okay, they're shooting at the Banshee. Sounds good. Also getting some splash damage on the Vulture Mark IV. I like it. Now, I don't want to
Right
move
here.
the Boar's Head and the Bull Shark just
Standing by.
yet. The Corsair, I'm okay with moving. So we'll move that on up here and sink its heat. There we go. We're going to reserve our two artillery units until after they've moved, because they're kind of spread out here, and I'd like to see if they cluster together. So at this point, our
Standing by.
Awesome is going to sprint on forward. It also wants an LOS. What are they going to do? Okay, the Panther walks into LOS of the Orion. That's very brave of it. And that also does mean that our artillery is... It has a good understanding of what we want to shoot at, I think. The Vulture Mark II positioned here. And then the Banshee... It backed off and spread out a little bit.
Standing by.
We're going to move up the Bull Shark to here. And we're just going to continue shooting at the Vulture Mark IV as the most centrally located enemy. We do have some fire going on still. And that's an okay hit. Not great.
Starting to cook.
The Boar's Head will move up over here.
Outside.
And we're going to continue to shoot at the Vulture Mark IV.
Engaging.
A collection of not amazing hits there. But this Panther is in a lot of danger. The Griffin moves up, shoots at the Banshee. Gets a little bit more armor damage in there. We'll allow that. The Panther is going to move now. And where's it going to go? Okay, cool. We don't care about that. That's actually even better for us. So now the Orion is going to close in over here. It also gets a direct fire LOS on the Banshee. So we're going to position it here. And I think we're going to go for the Banshee over the Panther. Yeah, we absolutely are. Do we want to fire these LRMs dead fire? No, we want to fire them standard.
Confirmed.
That's a structure exposure. And one dead Banshee.
Tango down.
Beautiful. Next up, we have two allied movers. The Hunter moves up and shoots at that Panther. Gets some solid damage on it. And we move our Madcap Mark II. That pops in right here, and this is a super dead Banshee. Or rather, Panther. This is a super dead Panther. There we go.
Mech destroyed.
So all that's left now is the Vulture. And that Vulture's armor is low. And now it's even lower.
I'm here.
Excellent. The Corsair is going to sprint forward. It requires LOS, which is not getting this round, period.
Yes, command.
The Awesome is going to sprint forward, and it doesn't require LOS. We're going to do just a small armor strip with the LRM. Barely anything there.
Ready for orders.
And the Mauler does require LOS. Forward it goes.
Affirmative.
Cool. We'll see what the Vulture decides to do here. The answer is it starts to climb the hill, but it does not get into LOS. The Bull Shark is going to step forward. It's still running hot from all that fire, but it's starting to drop its heat now. We're just going to drop a Long Tom right on that guy. Ooh, that hurt. That hurt him a lot. He's got almost no armor left where it matters. The Boar's Head is going to continue to step forward and try to take advantage of that.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Those are some solid hits there. A nice crit into the Vulture Mark IV.
Critical hit, Commander.
And there's not much that he can do now.
Confirmed.
The Salamander is going to sprint up over to here. I think at this point it's okay to fire the ATMs. Like, this Vulture is not going to survive much longer, so this is fine. We'll even Warlord it. And this is straight into the weak side. This could easily kill the Vulture. We only hit one of those ATMs, but that is a knockdown. Cool. Okay, so our ally moves. That is going to be the Crusader. It's going to lob some LRMs at the Vulture. It could kill it very easily. It did not, but it could have. Next up is our Mauler. The Mauler is not capable of killing that guy. We pretty much just need to move the Orion. The Orion will do the trick. I mean, that could do the trick too, but it didn't. Not quite. That vulture is very close to dead. Actually, he is dead. Okay, I think he ejected or something. Cool. Let's get out of here. So that took a little longer than I anticipated, but just because of the LOS, right? I mean, we should probably move to a different planet just because we don't function amazingly well in the Highland. That's probably not a terrible concept. We'll need to find one to go to, of course, and a time to do it. This is not the time to go. We're going to want a decent amount of repairs to do before we go, and this is going to be a pretty simple repair, in all honesty. No big deal there. As far as salvage goes, what can we get? Honestly, there's not that much here that I like. Well, there is this. Ferrolamellar. That's pretty good, actually. And it's case enabled. We're going to take that. That'll be excellent on some sort of a juggernaut. A clan double heatsink, not bad. SRM ammo that we don't care about, and a clan standard FCS. We'll keep that around. Engine Core 300, we don't have one, so we'll keep that. Overall, that seems pretty good. I do like that armor for a frontline mech. We'll have to decide where we would want to put that. That would be good on the Annihilator if we didn't have like major weight issues on the Annihilator. So we would have to think about that. But maybe on something like a refit Atlas might not be terrible. We would need something to replace it. I really like having the 2 artillery mechs. I think that that's quite good. So we would want to think about something to replace that. I mean, it'd be hilarious if we managed to cram dual long toms, but I find that unlikely. I find that quite unlikely. For now, of course, it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to start looking for opportunities to move to a different world, but we'll see when that is going to be. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and yeah, this is not going to take long or be very expensive to repair. No big deal here. Prioritize the Annihilator, please. Thank you. And I will see you all next time.